the 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.
Now entering the game for Philly Pressbox Radio, Bill Furman and Jim Chet Chesko.
It's Wednesday, January 7th, 2026. Welcome to the Philly Pressbox Radio Roundtable, brought to you by the Irish Rover Station House in Langhorne, PA, Cavs, Philly Tailgates, and the STT Sports Network. I'm Bill Furman. I'll be your host tonight, along with my partner, Jim Chet Chesko. Chet, the Eagles raised a lot of questions Sunday's losing to the Commanders, but it's playoff time, and none of that matters. Let's go. Flyers are at exactly the mid-season point, 41 games in the book after last night's win. If the season ended today, they're in the playoffs. The Sixers, 4 games over 500, but playing like a 500 team, going 5-5 in the last 10. The Phillies have hired Don Mattingly. How about that one? To be Rob Thompson's bench coach, but still no word on JT Realmuto and Ranger Suarez. I think those guys will help them win more than Don Mattingly. Who knows? College football semifinals this week, NFL wildcard round. Plenty to talk about in Philly sports.
Yeah, so much to talk about. As always, Bill, you mentioned the Flyers. They finished last season with 76 points. At this season's midpoint, they have 51, which would put them on pace, of course, for 102. See, I can do math. They haven't cracked the 100-point level since 2012. They may get there this year. You never know. I'm starting to believe. They are fun to watch. And, yeah, we hope the Eagles game is a whole lot more fun this Sunday than last Sunday's regular season finale was. It is win or go home time.
Yeah, it is. And I know you weren't too happy with how everything played out last week with the Eagles, but we'll get to that. I'm sure, as usual, me and you are on the opposite ends of that page.
Probably.
All right. Hey, we have a couple great guests tonight in Bob Angelo and PSWA President Mike Shute making return visits to Philly Pressbox Radio.
Yeah, some Phillies and Sixers talk with Mike, plus a preview of this month's annual PSWA Awards Banquet. But we're first going to talk lots of football, Eagles, NFL in general, maybe even some college football too, with the guy who wrote a pretty good book about the NFL off camera. Introduce him, Bill.
Tremendous book, by the way. Let's welcome Bob Angelo back to Philly Pressbox Radio. Bob, welcome.
Hi, guys. How are we tonight?
We are wonderful. Great to see you, Bob. Plenty to cover with you, so let's get it going. First thing, I know you are a yell at the TV guy when you're watching Eagles football games. So was there a lot of that happening while you were watching the Eagles backups, especially the secondary in that finale against Washington?
Only after I learned that the Bears were blowing it against Detroit. That upset me a little bit. And I thought the number 2 seed, that would have been ideal, but not going to happen. I was a little disappointed. I have to say, a little disappointed in Stanford, our quarterback, going blank on his name right
Tanner
now.
McKee.
Tanner McKee. I boasted about him all through the preseason. I said, this kid sees the field better than Hurts. He gets the ball out on time. He does all the things you want in a quarterback. However, when I saw him try to avoid the pass rush, I realized, not as mobile as I thought. I wanted him to be like Justin Herbert. So he's got a way to go, but a little bit disappointed. Defensive backs kind of let me down a little bit too. Of course, that's why these guys are second unit players.
Right.
The one thing I did see is that Jacorian Bennett, I've got that right?
Yeah. Yes.
He's inventing new ways to keep pass receivers from catching balls in the air. I mean, he's got a whole arsenal of pass interference calls, and they're wonderful, but everybody is looking for them.
Keely Ringo was dreadful.
Oh, horrible. I mean, one big special teams hit, but he still doesn't understand leverage, and I don't think he'll ever get it. And that goes back to Jamar Chase preseason. Everybody saw that play. He's gone, and he was trailing him. If you don't,
and Keely Ringo is going to end up in the Pro Bowl as a special teamer, by the way.
Well, he can pop. He can pop.
Yeah. Hey, Bob. As I was watching that game, I had no problem with them resting resting everybody. I mean, you got to beat whoever comes up on your schedule. But as bodies were falling, I just kept thinking to myself, I'm glad that that's not Landon Dickerson, and I'm glad that's not Quinyon Mitchell and those guys. Right. We'll take it for what it is. The offensive line definitely needed a rest. They've been banged up since camp. Yeah. I'm good with it.
It's a decision. And ultimately, I think it's going to work in Philadelphia's favor because San Francisco had to play their starters. They were playing for that number 1 seed in that dream scenario of having the next 3 or 4 or 3 football games in their own stadium. It didn't happen. And at the end of that game, you could see in their faces, they were crushed. Yeah. They were just feeling it. And unfortunately, head coach came out and said, this is our best case scenario. We need to win this game so that we can stay home, not have to get on an airplane and host the Super Bowl. Well, guess what? You're on the road for 3 weeks. And
they got beat up, and they got beat up pretty bad in that game. They didn't play well in that game.
They did not. I think what Seattle's defense did was expose that if you can stop McCaffrey early on and force that quarterback to beat you, he may not. He's very accurate. He reminds me a lot of a Joe Montana type, but I like Seattle's defense is good. Philadelphia's defense right now is every bit as good as Seattle's, and I'm sure Vic Fangio saw what happened, and he'll make that part of his game plan.
So, Bob, what do you think of the Eagles' draw right now? They're home this week against the 49ers, a beat-up 49ers team. As Bill said, the Birds are 4.5-point favorites. I think they can beat this team at home. And then you're going to play either the Bears in Chicago with revenge on your mind, or if the Packers beat the Bears, which is a very real possibility, that's essentially a pick 'em right now, then you're going to be home, but against the Rams. So what do you think about those scenarios?
Couple of things. The number that jumped out to me when I started prepping for this broadcast is the 49ers have the fewest sacks in the NFL. And the next team up, the 31st team, isn't even, it's not even close. They stink. They can't rush the quarterback well. Advantage Philly, because if you're going to beat Philly, everybody knows our quarterback doesn't necessarily read zone coverages with these long, slow developing patterns that are in the playbook. And blitzing up the middle is the other thing that causes him problems. When you pressure Jalen Hurts, he's not the same quarterback as he is if he can stand there and see things. And so even Kevin Petullo's play calling may not be a problem this week if Hurts can at least see the field and get the ball out on time. And against the 49ers, he's got a good chance of doing that. The other thing that I saw was when you do harness that when you do rein in that running back early and find ways to keep it from being 2nd and 2, the 49ers are very beatable offensively, very beatable. If their left tackle doesn't play, even more beatable for the Eagles defense. And again, Seattle's defense, Philly's defense, right now Philadelphia's defense is playing every bit as well as the Seattle Seahawks defense.
Well, Bob, as you look at the whole NFC across the board, I don't see anybody that I would say scares me. I think the Eagles can win this NFC. Everybody talks about this Rams offense, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they're good. We already beat them once. Let's beat them again.
Well, bear in mind that game came down to a blocked field goal, and it would have been the second blocked field goal. And somehow a big Eagles paw got on that thing, knocked it backwards. Otherwise, that's kind of a chip, and there it is. I mean, it was kind of a chip shot field goal. So if you look at it, the Rams have been in the red zone with a chance to win the game against the Eagles. This team, this roster, 2 times in the last year.
Yep.
Should have won this year. The playoff game last year, not so much because Jalen Carter made a couple of plays and all of a sudden game over.
Saquon was pretty good in that game too.
Oh, he had a great day.
Oh, yeah.
And Saquon needs to have that kind of day as we move forward here into the playoffs. But they are the team that scares me. If the Eagles play Chicago again in Chicago, I don't see any problem with that. I really do think their quarterback's still wild. He misses open targets. He's better when he's improvising and moving out of the pocket. When he has to sit in there and hit an open receiver downfield, he doesn't do it too often. He can miss guys on the sidelines. He can miss simple routes over the middle, overthrow, underthrow, all that kind of stuff. The stuff Jalen used to do. Jalen's problem is he just holds the ball too damn long, won't throw receivers open, and doesn't seem to have that ability to press the defense. He seems to be more concerned with, well, I don't want to throw a pick, as opposed to I want to win the game by advancing the football to $48 million worth of wide receivers. So looking down the road, yeah, the Rams scare me. Not so much the Bears. If play the Packers, hell, we'll beat them. I almost went, sorry. I know we're not allowed to curse on this show, but I almost no way that's going to happen. And of course, you know, I can't imagine the Rams going to Carolina and losing again. That's just not going to happen.
Bill?
I lost my thought there.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was asking about who we thought they would play. But the other thing I wanted to ask you about is you mentioned on the defense, Zach Bond, for one. He's been so good, and it's almost like a different style of linebacker. He's a lighter, faster guy. It's almost like the eras have swapped back again with guys like him that are all over the place.
Modern pass coverage schemes need guys like Bond and Jihad Campbell, who can carry receivers to the safety caps, to the back end of the defense. On the other side of that, you have Nakobe Dean, who can run through any running back in football. Concerns me, he may not be on the field this week. All the Eagles would say was he practiced in a limited capacity. That's all they would say about Lane Johnson, too. With Lane Johnson, there's that statistic that always scares me. With Lane on the field, the Eagles win this percentage of their games. Without Lane, they win a different percentage. And I'd like to see them both out there. But defensively, the Eagles right now, Quinyon Mitchell is playing at an all-pro level and may at this point in time be the best single cover corner, man cover corner in the sport. Cooper DeJean is just unreal as a slot corner. I love Vic Fangio's choice not to mess with that. Let him stay there. He knows the position. Don't get him out of there. Don't change anything, because why would you? And then the pass rush has suddenly blossomed. Everybody seems to be healthy. Everybody seems to be into it now. But in answer to Zach Bond, the modern professional game with these complicated, and I say complicated because they've got to man up and carry people back toward the safeties. Bond does that as well as anybody. Jihad Campbell's pretty close. He got torched early in the year in a play, but lately he's been doing well.
Hey, Bob, this is a week where a lot of head coaches, a handful of them anyway, are suddenly unemployed. The biggest name among them is, of course, John Harbaugh. Are you surprised the Ravens decided, I guess, to choose Lamar Jackson over John Harbaugh and make that decision?
Let me tell you what I think about that. Lamar Jackson has been the MVP of the league twice.
Yeah.
Probably should have been 3 times, okay? With all due respect to Josh Allen. How many Super Bowls has he won? How many playoff games has he won? We watch football. When I say we, me and Rob, and you met him at my home last week, we watch football very, very closely. And Rob said to me, that team will never win a Super Bowl with that guy quarterback. Name the teams in history coming up here on Super Bowl 60 who have won Super Bowls with running quarterbacks. It's a short list. It's 0. Okay? Lamar Jackson, and this year, Lamar not only didn't bring it all, he brought it all, got hurt, came back, and wasn't the same guy. Simply wasn't the same guy, wasn't in it. So I'm not a big fan of John Harbaugh. But that said, the guy who's got to come in, and I heard some analysts today say the key here is whoever gets this job has to come in and bring Lamar Jackson up to that championship level. I don't know that that's going to happen ever. That might be a pipe dream. And so good luck. John will get a job. He'll get a job whenever he wants it. If he wants it right after this season, he'll get hired.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll run that same offense, that same power. Let's load it up with the biggest, strongest guys we can and pound you. But he'll do the same things. He'll fire coordinators one after another because he just doesn't like it and doesn't want to take any of the blame. And there. That's what I think of John Harbaugh.
There you go. Hey, Bob, one non-Eagles question I have for you. You've been watching football a really long time. The quarterback play. We just saw this Phillip Rivers situation. Joe Flacco's been playing. Jameis Winston, I'll call him an old guy now. Jacory Brissett. These guys are stepping in that are veteran guys, and some of them have been backups for a long time. They seem to be so much further ahead of the game than these young guys who are getting millions. Is that my imagination? Watching Phillip Rivers in that first game, he's standing at the line of scrimmage. He hadn't played in 5 years, and he's calling out what the defense is going to do.
Well, he was doing that. He was audibling, and he was doing a good job of it. But when it got right down to it, no mobility left. And he always had kind of an awkward sidearm delivery anyway. And that was apparent. It was fun to watch.
But the knowledge of the game is what these veterans are showing me that is really, they're leaps and bounds ahead of these kids.
I think, well, the guy played almost 20 seasons, right? I mean, he plays a lot of football, and you learn a lot of things at the professional level. Young men coming into the sport whose frontal cortexes haven't yet developed fully don't absorb things as quickly as older guys like Bo Nix and the guy in New Orleans who actually looks pretty good to me. I'm thinking that it's the hardest position in any sport in any universe. Learning how to play that position is really difficult. It takes years to acquire the information to make the game slow down. Now, being a former high school quarterback myself, I know what that means for the game to slow down. You look downfield and you can hear what's going on around you. But when it slows down, you play the way Aaron Rodgers played last week against the Ravens when it mattered. Okay? What's he now, 72 years old? Aaron just tore it up. That rifle shot that he threw to Freiermuth over the middle down. I mean, my goodness, that's so arm strength isn't what matters. The ability to break the pocket, break, contain, and run the ball isn't what matters. What matters is being able to lead your team to points when it counts. And yeah, older guys like the guy in Los Angeles playing with the Rams, like Phillips showing up and trying to bail out the Colts. And that was a tragedy too. I mean, Indiana Jones was playing well. I didn't want to see that happen to him, but the older guys know how to do it. And Joe Flacco, I mean, on and on. Is it a trend? No, it's just a learning process. Terry Bradshaw didn't play well until his 7th NFL season. It wasn't until he went out to Oakland and lost in 1976 that he realized, I got to figure out how to do this because I have all the talents. That's what everybody says to me. And I still can't play this game right. So it took Terry a long time to develop. And these days with complicated coverages, with blitz schemes, with all the stuff that young quarterbacks have to face, it's rough.
Bob, we got less than 4 minutes left, believe it or not. What did you think? We're both Penn State guys. What did you think of Penn State's hiring eventually of Matt Campbell?
I liked when he showed up on campus and he said, I'm not here to work toward my next job. I'm here to be part of this program. I'm here to marry myself to this program, turn Penn State into a national championship contender. Those are all the things I wanted to hear. The fact that he's a younger man is good because I was concerned that they would target Cignetti from Indiana, and he's not leaving there. Why would he leave that? He's got a perfect situation. He's a Pittsburgh guy. Everybody said, well, it's a natural. No, it isn't. He's got his thing. Let's find a younger man who understands what NIL and the transfer portal can do in pro football these days. And he's already demonstrating that by bringing in a guy from, his school and a key guy, a quarterback. So obviously he's not bringing this guy in to sit on the bench. There's a pipeline of young men coming into Penn State to play quarterback, but they had a 5-star quarterback there. And it took James Franklin 4 years to turn that 5-star high school recruit into a day 2 draft pick. Okay. That's what I think of James Franklin. Great recruiter, but on game day, lost in space. All right.
Hey, Bob, I'm going to give you a loaded question with not a lot of time to answer, but what's your quick thoughts? You mentioned NIL and the transfer portal. Go ahead. Open mic for you.
Well, for years, people have been saying we've got to start paying these kids. Well, we are now. Okay. And beyond that, professional college football generates an enormous amount of revenue for all these Power 4 schools. I don't have any issue with these young men saying, I'm in the wrong place here. I want to play in the NFL. I'm in a program that's not helping me get there. Or I've got a head coach who sat me on the bench and I'm not going to play for 3 years because he likes this other guy. Or I just don't like where I am. I made a decision. My parents helped me make it. They thought it was going to be good for me. And I think it sucks. I want out of here. I want to find a place to play where I can be the guy I can be as an athlete and long-term as a human being. So I don't have any problem with it at all.
You caught me off guard with that, Bob.
We're paying these kids. Why not? I mean, let's realize how much revenue these kids are bringing in to stadiums that seat over 100,000 people. Is it old school thinking? No, but it's what's going on right now. So I'm glad Penn State's going to be on top of that because they have a guy who understands the process and how important it can be.
Bob, last thing for me, and full disclosure, folks, Bob alluded to this earlier. I was actually at a party last week at the home of Bob and his lovely wife, Barbara. Thank you for that, by the way.
And we had plenty of these.
Yeah, and I had a few of these. So good time. While there, you had the college football games on, of course. It was Friday afternoon, New Year's Day, I guess. You did not seem upset with the fact that both Alabama and Ohio State were getting knocked out of the college football playoffs. You seem to be okay with that.
Anytime Ohio State loses a football game, I have a week of celebration. Penn State and Ohio State has aged me. I'm 73 to begin with in a couple of weeks. I'm 70. Yeah. But watching Penn State watching Franklin find ways to lose games to Ohio State every year has aged me. So I'm glad he's gone. And, Nebraska, Georgia, I just assumed Ohio State and Georgia would play, and then Ohio State would play Indiana again. I'm glad that that's not the case. I'm glad that a new team is ranked number one. Somebody not coached by a Saban or a who's a
Kirby
dude?
Kirby Smart, Ryan Day,
or the guy who is at Ohio State now, and the guy who
Ryan Day. Yeah,
I mean, Ohio State's just had so much success. I am glad that this is happening. And with all due respect, the dude who's running the Indiana programs from Pittsburgh, and good for him. I hope they clean up. I hope they knock the hell out of Oregon for what Oregon did when Penn State should have beat them back in late October. I think, is that what it was? Something like that.
Yeah.
Early October. I mean, that game just, and no, I don't have any problem with it at all. Go Indiana, go Hoosiers, win it.
Fantastic. Well, Bob, we have used up all your time and a little bit extra, but we certainly appreciate you coming by to join us. Don't forget, Chet, go ahead, throw the book out there. Great book. I've read it.
If you type the title, The NFL Off Camera, if you type that in on Amazon, it'll come up. You'll see me. You'll see me on the cover there, the title, all that. Yeah. It's still available. And believe me, they have boxes and boxes of those things. They're still trying to move.
Great book. Get to it. Bob, we appreciate you doing this with us again, and let's do it.
Hasta la vista.
All right.
Thank you, Bob.
Go Birds.
Be well.
All right. Chet, Philly Pressbox Radio is part of the STT Sports Network, as in Set the Trends. It's our network set up by our pal Phil Stiefel, host of the terrific Trending in the AM show that you can find every weekday morning on the STT Sports Network YouTube channel. Check out Phil. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. He's still chasing that 1,000 subscribers, by the way. Phil's show is on there, and so is ours. Yep, you can find Philly Pressbox Radio there, in addition to on our own YouTube channel and on our Facebook page. Again, it's the STT Sports Network, setting the trends for what sports talk should be. Hey, Chet.
Yeah.
New Year is here. That means all sorts of activities at the Irish Rover Station House.
Well, Bill, I have a hunch that 2026 is going to be even better than 25 at the Irish Rover Station House in Langhorne, Pennsylvania, where you can always enjoy terrific food, plus 24 beers on tap, killer burger Thursdays with Thursday night bringing $9 wings and $5 giant Stella pours. Plus, you get happy hour specials, music most weekends, and a $5 Sunday Fun Day menu to boot. All of that and more at the Irish Rover Station House, located on Bellevue Avenue in Langhorne. And as you can see right there, at the IrishRoverStationHouse.com.
Hey everybody, this is Zeke Mitchell of Hazy Cosmic Jive. And you're watching Bill and Chet on Philly Pressbox Radio. Come see Hazy Cosmic Jive January 9th at Brooklyn Bowl, Philly. Looking forward.
All right. Hey, Chet, the Flyers have hit the exact midpoint of the season with very much in the hunt. It's January. I'm sure you're ready to jump on the bandwagon. But, hey, after last night's win, Chet, if you look at the Metropolitan standings, the Flyers have played the least games of the top four teams, which is 41, and they have 51 points. The two teams ahead of them, 43, and the Capitals behind them at 43 games. If the Flyers were to win those two missing games, they're tied for first place.
Yeah, I think I am on board, Bill, as I alluded to at the top. I mean, how can you not be? They're on pace for a 100-point season, as we said, and a return to the playoffs, which would be great. The new goalie has been very, very good, Vladar. The new forward, Trevor Zegras, of course, has been fantastic. 17 goals now, I think, including 2 against his former team, Anaheim, Tuesday night. He was pretty excited about that.
Yeah, and it's a couple F-bombs to go with his goals last night.
On live Scotty, TV. I watched that. Scotty asked him how he felt about it. It's fucking amazing. Yeah,
twice.
I loved it. And they're 13-1-5, I believe, after a loss. That is very impressive. So, yeah, kudos to the Flyers.
Yeah, they're playing good hockey. And as you mentioned, Zegras, Konechny, Dvorak just got paid. He just got a big contract extension.
He did. Long
that
deal.
Looks good. They're good. It's pretty solid play throughout. And the young guys continue to keep getting better. They've got Grabenkin is in there. Grundstrom is in there. People that nobody's ever heard of from. Denver Barkey, the rookie, is in there, has played 8 games so far. They've got a lot of young kids, and this team is only going to get better, I think.
Yeah, PJ's been watching them. He's excited about them. So, yeah, they're fun to watch. Tuesday's win, by the way, came on Ed Snyder Legacy Night. It would have been Mr. Snyder's 93rd birthday. Now, one lingering concern for me, Bill, though, is the backup goalie this season. Sam Urson, he just has been pretty dreadful much of the time.
Yeah, I think I actually said this several weeks ago that it was becoming pretty clear that, they were going to have to start moving playing time around a little bit. And I think as we get a little bit further down the road, I think you're going to be seeing a lot more of Dan Vladar.
Upcoming, they have 3 straight home games, Thursday night against the Maple Leafs. And then this is interesting. They play Saturday and Monday against the always tough Tampa Bay Lightning. Both games at home, 2 days apart. Kind of weird.
Yeah, and the Lightning, they just won their 8th in a row last night.
Yeah,
they're coming
tough.
in hot. They're always good. And, and the other thing that we'll see how, if this is good or bad, it'll be for everybody. But, hockey's shutting down for 2 weeks.
Oh, that's right.
For the Olympics.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So as we get down into the end of February, the NHL is going away. Does everybody go home and rest? Do you go in hot and come back out cold? Some guys are going to play in for all kinds of countries all over the place in the Olympics. So I think that's going to be it'll be really interesting as we get towards March of how things are going to play out down the stretch.
Yeah. But, I did watch actually much of the game last night. Well, the third period anyway. So I'm starting to ease myself back in, Bill. And as soon as the Eagles season ends, hopefully not too soon, I'll try to go all in.
Well, one thing about last night's game, Chet, if you haven't been watching a lot, it was one of those dirty hockey games that you haven't seen for quite a while. A A lot of cheap shots. Of course, Radko Gudas is the captain of the Anaheim Ducks. He was a goon for us 10 years ago, and he's still a goon. Funny.
The fans gave Cutter Gauthier a very nice welcome back to Philadelphia.
All night long.
Every time
there was one play with Gudas. I don't know if you were watching it.
I didn't see that.
But he was skating back to get a puck, and he's looking over his left shoulder, and a flyer beat him down the right shoulder. He didn't see him, beat him to the puck. Well, the flyer takes the puck and goes around, and Gudas threw a cheap shot on him, then dove on top of him, threw an elbow in his head, and got a penalty. So it was some goon hockey going on. Haven't seen that for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hey, Chet, the Philadelphia Sports Writers Association, PSWA for short, annual banquet is coming up on January 21st. You had a chance to visit with the president of the PSWA, Mike Shute, about the upcoming night. Mike's been with us, 3 or 4 years in a row
just
now?
the second time, actually.
Second time. Okay.
Yeah.
Seems like more.
Yeah.
So tell us about it.
I talked to him just a couple of hours ago. He was busy tonight with an event. He works a lot of the local high school and college sports scene. He does some play-by-play. He does some statistical work. He does all sorts of things. He's a busy guy, but I got to him a couple of hours ago, and we taped this interview and had a lot of fun with it. Well, this gentleman was a guest on our very first show of 2025, and it was so much fun, we decided we needed to have him back for our first Philly Pressbox Radio show of 2026. He's the president of the Philadelphia Sports Writers Association, which has a huge event coming up in the next couple of weeks, which we will discuss. Mike Shute. Hey, Mike, how are you?
Hey, Chet, what's happening? I can't believe it's a year already. That's nuts. That went by pretty quick, huh?
Time flies way too fast all the time. Well, Mike, we're going to talk about the PSWA annual banquet, January 21st in just a bit. But first, let's talk about the Philly sports scene. Just a quick overview of that. How are you feeling, first of all, about the Phillies after last year's 2 brief postseason and the 3 or 4 moves that they made so far in the offseason?
Well, you talk about the Phillies, and I'd be remiss if I didn't bring this up. But today's National Bobblehead Day, Chet. So we got
I know it.
A Phillies bobblehead. It's JT Realmuto. He was our the 2019 Pro Athlete of the Year. So I wanted to have JT pop in and say hello. So happy National Bobblehead Day to those who celebrate, which I see you do as well.
Brad Lidge, 2008.
A great moment in Phillies history. But the Phillies, I like bringing in Adolis Garcia from the Rangers. 2023 ALCS MVP, was a World Series champion with the Rangers. He's a little older, 32, so he's not a long-term solution, but he is a guy with some great pop, a 2-time All-Star. They bring in Brad Keller from the Cubs. The guy throws absolute gas. Bolstering the bullpen was important. I think that showed last year in their maybe shortcomings in the playoffs, Chet. So no huge splash yet, right? Not that like huge name like when they signed Harper a few years back now, or anything like that. But these guys, I think, make improvements to the team. And they won the NL East last year. So if you can be better than that, you're trending in the right direction, I think.
Yeah, I think the Flyers and 76ers are also trending in the right direction. But the big talk this week, of course, as always, the Philadelphia Eagles. How are you feeling about the Eagles as they welcome the Niners to the Linc this Sunday?
Well, I guess last week's game against Washington, there were mixed opinions about that. Do you play the starters? Do you have them play a half, get a big lead, and try and hold on? Do you just do what they did, which was not play the starters? And I think all in all, when you look at the big picture, they remain healthy, right? Nobody got dinged up. At least none of the starters, right? So, the people that you're going to really rely on now for this stretch run, they got to rest. They got a time where a lot of teams and players, right? You've played 17 regular season games. You've played 3 preseason games, some players, right? So it's a long grind. And the fact that you got a chance to sit down and relax last week, kind of lick your wounds, right? Heal up a little bit. I think that's a good thing. I know that, people are angry about maybe blowing the opportunity at the 2 seed. If they have to go somewhere, they'd have to go to Chicago, right, in that next round. I think they're confident they can go into Chicago and win. That's an inexperienced team in terms of postseason, whereas the Eagles have, Jalen Hurts, for example, has played 10, 11 postseason games already in his career. So I think that, when the lights get a little brighter, makes things a little bit more difficult on some of these players, and the pressure's high. And the Eagles have that experience. The Bears do not. So I don't mind the fact that you might have to go to Chicago and play a postseason game. Now, of course, you can be disappointed if they lose this week, right, in the first round. Sure. But you can't be disappointed with the product the Eagles have brought to the table the last several years. Nick Sirianni's been, the winningest coach in that time frame, and just done overall. I think, you look at his numbers, they're historic with what he's done, not just in team history, but in league history. Again, they have experience. You're healthy. Lane Johnson should be back. I don't know. I feel perfectly good about the team. And I think that, just because they're coming in off of a loss, it's not necessarily a bad thing. They've got rest. They've got guys healthy. They're ready to go.
Eagles 4.5-point favorites as we speak. All right, let's talk about the big event. The Philadelphia Sports Writers Association annual dinner banquet coming up on the 21st. And I got to tell you, as a guy who has worked in broadcasting for much of my life, I'm excited about this. Just Bill Campbell Award honoree. He's pretty well known from his work at ESPN. He also has some local ties. Tell us about Kevin Negandhi.
Yeah, Kevin Negandhi has just been awesome. I mean, his rise, he's been now at ESPN for more than 20 years, right? More than 2 decades. He just signed a contract. I think he's going to be there even longer. And he does it all, right? I mean, he's hosted the NBA draft the last 4 years. He's hosted or co-hosted the Rose Parade for ABC 6 of the last 8 years. Okay, so that's just a couple things. He's a Sports Center anchor and mainstay there, particularly on the 6 p.m. Sports Center. He is a Temple University Klein College of Communication graduate, and he's from the Philly area. He's a Phoenixville native. It's a really cool thing. I mean, he was really sincerely touched by the fact that he was selected for this year. And, he talks about listening to Bill Campbell as a kid on the radio, and now the fact that he's getting this award named after him. He's pretty honored, and it sounds like, there's going to be a pretty good contingent of folks from Temple coming out to support him and be there for him. He'll be coming in right hot off the college football championship game is Monday, which he'll be working down there at that. And then he'll be here with us on Wednesday, the 21st. So 2 weeks from today. It's awesome. Really exciting. And again, I got the chance to interact with him a bit in the last several weeks and months, leading up to this, and just been nothing but aces in terms of, helping out with whatever he could, getting us information, getting us in touch with the people to get the information we need so that he can be a part of this.
Well, the PSWA will also dole out a couple Living Legend Awards this year, honoring the 2001 Philadelphia 76ers on that memorable team's 25th anniversary, and a former Broad Street Bully great who happened to do this little commercial some 50 years ago.
This is no ordinary can of Canada Dry Ginger Ale. This is the Dave Schultz can. There's also a Bobby Clark can, a Rick McLeish can. In fact, there's 21 different cans, 21 different flyers.
I know you were just a young man, of course, when he played with those cup-winning teams in the mid-1970s. But how cool is it that the Hammer Dave Schultz will be there on the 21st?
Yeah, it's really great. And, I was young, Chet. Let's see. Honestly, what was it, 74, 75, right? So I was 3 and 4 the years they won the championship, Stanley Cup. But rumor has it that when I was a kid, at that age, I knew every player's name, number, and would almost do like a goofy, like childish play-by-play of the games. I somehow I knew all the names and numbers. I don't know how that all stuck. Again, non-stick surface, right? But back then when I was a kid, I was all over that. So it's really cool that the Hammer's coming. He also has a book. So I think before the event actually begins at 6 p.m., he'll be in the lobby area selling and signing some of his books for any of our ticket buyers who are interested in purchasing that book and getting it signed. So he's happy to interact with the fans. And again, it's awesome that he's coming to join us. We've seen a lot of different guys over the years. Of course, unfortunately, the loss of Bernie Parent recently. Yeah. But hey, the Flyers last night, a great win and an opportunity to, send a little bit of a message to the rest of the league that they're for real. So I think that they're trending in the right direction as well, Chet. And it's great to have Dave Schultz joining us at the dinner coming up in 2 weeks.
I'm going to tell you that we will have Lou Scheinfeld, who recently celebrated his 90th birthday. He'll be there at the banquet getting a special award.
That's awesome.
Fran McCaffrey will be honored. Give me like 3 or 4 other names before we get to that Philly who's going to be there.
Oh, okay. Well, Rob Thompson is not the Philly you're mentioning. However, he is going to be the association's sports good guy of the year for his great cooperation annually and actually every day after ball games, right? He answers all the questions, and the media certainly appreciates his forthright and straight shooting. We have from Haddonfield, New Jersey, and Princeton University, our amateur athlete of the year is going to be Mackenzie Blake. She is a women's lacrosse player who set all kinds of records at Princeton. She also overcame an ACL injury back in her high school days to continue playing. So she's a great candidate and a great person that is going to be with us. We have co-teams of the year. Of course, the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, which kind of kicked off the year. And then Villanova football team finished the year strong, reaching the semifinals of the FCS playoffs. So they're going to be honored as well. And I believe Coach Mark Ferrante will be in the house. You mentioned Fran McCaffrey. He's our Native Son Award winner, the Penn head coach who returns to his alma mater as the head coach and a former high school star in Philadelphia as well. And his brother Jack is going to be our Stan Hochman Award winner. Jack McCaffrey, of course, of the Delaware County Daily Times. And fans may remember him from his time on the radio as well. He was on WIP. He was on 97.5 The Fanatic. So a lot of great local ties in there as well.
And Mike, I know there's not technically a headline guest, but in our final minute, we got to talk about this guy. For me, he is a headliner. He's the Pro Athlete of the Year for the PSWA this time around. It's a Phillies left-handed pitcher. Tell everybody who it is.
That would be one Christopher Sanchez, who was the runner-up for the National League Cy Young Award winner. There you see him charged up after mowing down another batter, no doubt. It's going to be great to have him there accepting the Pro Athlete of the Year award this year. And Chet, if I can too, one other guy who I neglected to mention, our most courageous sports person of the year. His name is Juan Namnun. He is the Frankfurt High School baseball coach. There you see Juan. Juan is amazing, okay? He was diagnosed with male breast cancer a couple years back, and he has overcome that. He is still receiving treatment for it. But he has taken that negative and turned it into a positive. He started the Coaches versus Cancer Philly baseball tournament. So a lot of the high schools in Philadelphia will compete in that annually. They've done it now. This will be the third year, I believe, coming up in 2026, if I'm not mistaken. But Juan just wants to get the word out that, like, hey, guys, you can get breast cancer too. It's rare. There's like 2,800 cases a year in the United States that are diagnosed, but it's something that he's passionate about, and he's spreading the word, and we're really happy to have him. And he's got a great message, and I can't wait for our patrons to come in and listen to what Juan has to say, because he is an inspiring man for sure.
Last thing, how do people get tickets to the January 21st banquet?
Well, I would send them to our website, as you see there on the screen that Chet has so graciously put up there, phillysportswriters.com. Okay. And then if you scroll on the homepage, if you scroll down, you'll see a little ticket logo on there, or you can click on ticket information on that top bar across the header of the web page. And you can visit there. You can get your tickets are $99 a piece. Still a great bargain. All of our proceeds go towards our PSWA Foundation, which we provide scholarships for college students, current college students. 121st year of the Philadelphia Sports Writers Association banquet. So come out, be a part of history, because this tradition is unlike any other, not just in Philadelphia, but in the entire country. We're one of the few remaining sports writers associations locally that are left in terms of, cities throughout the country. So I know I'll see you there, Chet, and I can't wait to see other folks there as well to honor all of our amazing guests this year.
Mike, this was fun. I will see you at the banquet. That is at the Doubletree by Hilton in Cherry Hill on the 21st of January. Thanks again, Mike, for visiting Philly Pressbox Radio.
Thanks for having me.
That was fantastic, and obviously it is going to be a really good event.
Yeah, looking forward to it. 2 weeks from tonight, which is why we're going to have to move our show to Thursday, January 22nd, that particular week.
Yep. Good stuff. And, I am so mad at myself, Chet, because I knew that this was bobblehead night, right? And I have my bobblehead I was going to bring is at work, and I was going to show it off. I have the Rick Monday bobblehead with the flag.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Classic.
So
Classic.
Yeah, that was a classic. So, that was I did remember that it was Bobblehead night.
Yeah, January 7th, every year.
I was going to show that off. All right, good stuff. Hey, Chet, what's better than tailgating for the Eagles playoffs with the best tailgaters in Philadelphia? Bob Cavanaugh and the gang at Cavs Philly Tailgates.
Oh, yeah. Cavs Philly Tailgates has been cooking up terrific catering business now for some 35 years. Known best for those tailgate parties, Cavs is a 3-time winner of Philly Tailgates Jack Daniels Great American Tailgate Party Contest and a past winner of the Philly Daily News Tailgate Award. Cavs also does corporate events, parties, you name it, but Cavs is best known for those pre-sporting event tailgate parties, and they do indeed have one coming up this particular Sunday before the Niners-Eagles wild card game. There's the list of what they do have coming up. There's that. They will also be doing some Phillies tailgates again this summer, including one before the home opener in late March. Yeah, March. Another before the Phillies Guardians game in May. Get details on those and other events at Cavs website, phillytailgates.com. And if you do have any questions, you can email them at cavscatering@verizon.net. Cavs Philly Tailgates is the way to go.
Hey, Chet, before we move on, I wanted to go back to the Dave Schultz conversation. Did you see, and I thought maybe I sent this to you, but in the last couple of days, I saw an interview where Schultz was on some podcast and ripping Bobby Clark.
No, I did not see that.
I will find that and send it to you. But basically, Schultz blames Clark for Schultz being traded.
Whoa, how about that?
Yeah.
A little bad blood all these years later.
Dirty laundry got put out there by Schultz that I didn't know that that was out there. But, and Schultz is trying to sell a book too. So maybe there's some of that. I don't know. But
he does have a book out. Yes.
It was interesting. That's for sure.
Well, all Bill, right. since you just took a little detour, I'm going to take a little detour myself, Bill. Because
I thought you did that in the margin of victory pool.
We'll get to that in a minute. But in the meantime, there's a couple things I got to get off my chest, Bill, and I'm going to do so in the form of random Chet.
Oh,
for anyone wondering, Ray Didinger won't be available for any playoff analysis over the next few weeks for us or anybody else. In fact, Ray won't be available to even preview the draft in late April. Ray and his wife, Maria, have just set sail on a 4.5-month cruise that will take them to Australia, New Zealand, Japan, South Korea, and various other spots in the South Pacific. Oh, if the Eagles make it to the Super Bowl on February 8th, Ray will be in New Caledonia at that time, seeking out a working television, no doubt. The NHL held its annual Winter Classic last Friday in, of all places, Miami. And the host Panthers got smoked by the Rangers. I know they said it was a big success, but Winter Classic and Miami just don't belong in the same sentence. Oh, I know there's going to be a Chargers-Patriots playoff game at the same time, but Sunday night will also bring the Golden Globes, honoring the best in 2025's movies and television. Even if you hate awards shows, I assure you there will be lots of laughs courtesy of the host, Nikki Glazer. I know Bill Furman will be watching, right? Speaking of great television, the absolute best series of 2025, The Pit, starring Noah Wyle, returns with its second season debut episode Thursday night. If you haven't yet watched season 1, find it. It's on HBO Max, and it is terrific. Yeah, and Bobblehead Day, too, as you mentioned. Today, January 7th, National Bobblehead Day. There you go, Bill.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you what. Ray Didinger on a ship for 4 months.
Yeah.
I hope he makes all 4 months, because I know people that do a lot of cruising.
Yeah.
They ain't going on a 4-month cruise.
Yeah, now
I do it a lot.
I believe it's not all cruise ship. I believe you do, get off, and there are some little extended stays within some of the stops. But yeah, that is crazy.
Wow.
I heard him talking about it on Saturday morning with Mike Sealski and Rob Ellis, and he said it was something that he and Maria had always discussed doing. And, now that he's officially retired, even though he's still kind of busy, and, they're not getting any younger, he said this is the time to do it. So they're doing it. But yeah, he's going to miss all the playoff games potentially. And if he
well,
said
he's
if
got
Eagles
all
get
of
to
his
the
play,
Super Bowl,
all of his other stuff going on that he's got to be back. We got to be there for, I guess.
Yeah,
Hey,
and crazy.
Yeah. Hey, one other thing you mentioned about that game in Miami. Did you know, not the Winter Classic, but it's called the Stadium Series, is going to be at Raymond James Stadium on February 1st in Tampa for the Lightning Bruins. What could go wrong? What could go wrong for an outside hockey game on February 1st in Tampa, Florida?
Yeah.
What
I
do
don't
we
know,
right?
man.
What do we know?
The freaking hockey teams in Florida keep getting to the Cup finals every year. I hate it.
Yeah, well, I don't know what kind of attendance they'll get for that. It'll be interesting to see. It's liable to be. It's going to be 82 degrees tomorrow.
Really?
I mean, yeah.
Hey, we got up to 57 today. It was very exciting. It was like a heat index thing. It was very nice.
I don't know how you make ice when it's 80-some degrees out.
Yeah.
What do I know? All right, Chet, regular season picks are complete, and boop, Bob Patron Jr. took care of business pretty much wire to wire, and both our weekly picks and our margin of victory pool show the results, Chet, so we can move on really fast.
Well, let me correct you. In the margin of victory pool, yeah, he pretty much ran the whole second half of the season. So congrats to Boop. He ran away with that one, including a big final week when he took Jacksonville and they won big. So Boop wins that going away. But yes, Bill, you did pass me and took over second place. I know. You're all excited. You gave me some crap via the texter.
Look at that.
Yeah. You want to see it again? Here, go ahead. There it is.
Oh, there you go.
Bill,
look at that.
Place. I'm in
Bill's
last
in
place.
second.
Yeah. You know what they say about second place, Bill? It's the first loser.
Well, but it's better than being the second loser.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
it is. Okay, now the pick'em weeks. Here's the deal. It went down to the final week. I actually was ahead for much of the second half of the season. I had a 3-game lead just a couple of weeks ago, and then
that's right.
Chet choke happened. So Boop caught me after week 17. It all came down to week 18. We had one different pick. It was the Ravens-Steelers game, the final Sunday night game of the season. And what happened? I picked the Ravens. They missed a field goal at the very end. Steelers won. Boop wins. So here
John
it is.
Harbaugh got fired, and you got fired too.
Congrats, Boop. If you're watching, congrats. You are the champion of both the Pick'em League and the Margin of Victory Pool.
There you go. Congrats, Boop. And Chet, Bob Moser, right on time. At least Bill beat Chet. There you go.
Your
Thank
biggest
you,
fan. Your only fan.
Your support. Appreciate your support. That's for sure. All right. Let's move along so Boop doesn't get too much praise. All right. We're going to do all the playoff games, all 6 of them. All right. First one, Giants at the Cowboys. Oh, just kidding. They're home watching the playoffs again for another year. They won't be in the playoffs. So we have Saturday, Rams at the Panthers, Rams minus 10.5. Who you got?
Well, let me tell you this. I forgot, and Boop forgot. Boop forgot to send me picks, and I forgot to ask him about it until about 5 minutes ago. So I just texted Boop while I played the little random chat thing, and he said, yeah, he forgot, but he sent me a message that's going to lead to some confusion, so I'm going to have to get back to him about one game. But anyway, everybody is going to pick the Rams in this game. You know that. Boop says Rams. I say Rams. I'm sure you're going to say Rams.
I'm only taking the Rams to win, but I'm taking the Panthers if I were taking points.
10.5 is a lot of points.
This game's not going to be a blowout. All right.
But
I'll take the Rams to win.
Okay.
The Bears, Packers minus 1.5.
Okay. I have not come to a conclusion about how this game will probably go. Going back and forth, the Bears opened as a slight favorite. Now I think the Packers are a slight favorite. It's essentially a pick 'em. So here you go. Heads, Packers, tails, Bears. Tails it is. So I'm taking Chicago, apparently. Boop is also taking Chicago.
I'm taking Chicago.
He said the home team.
I'm taking Chicago. Okay, we'll jump ahead to Sunday. The Bills at the Jags. The Jags are favored in this game by 1.5.
Oh, they are favored now? Yeah, the Bills opened as a slight favorite.
Yeah. Well, this is as of last night.
Okay, yeah. I had Bills -1, but Jags -1, whatever. Boop said he's taking Jacksonville also. Yeah, I'm taking Jacksonville, going with the home team.
Wow, I'm surprised. I'm taking Jacksonville as well.
Oh,
all right.
Yeah, I'm surprised at myself because I was expecting a deeper run from Buffalo, but the more I think about it, I just think Jacksonville's the better team.
Jacksonville's good. You know, I think. Well, we'll talk about this at the end. We'll come back. We'll circle back. Chargers at the Patriots. The Patriots minus 3.5 at home.
You know, I'm still not sure how good the Patriots are, but they're home. Drake May has been very, very good. Justin Herbert has never had a whole lot of playoff success, so I'm taking New England. Boop's taking New England.
I'm taking New England. I can't believe we're all going to be the same.
Well,
all right, we'll jump over to Monday before we come back to the Eagles. So we have the Texans at the Steelers. The Texans -3 on the road.
Here's the thing. I have to check with Boop about this because, as I said, this happened at the last minute. Boop said he sent via text like 3 minutes ago. He's taking all home teams except Steelers and Panthers. So
that means he's taking the Texans.
That means he's taking the okay. So it does make sense then. So
yeah,
he's not taking the Panthers. He's not taking the Steelers. He's taking the Houston Texans. Okay, now it makes sense. All right. Yeah, I'm taking Houston also. Pittsburgh's run is over.
Stop. I'm taking the Texans as well. We've all got the same picks right down the line.
Looks that way.
Back to Sunday at 4:30. 49ers visit the Linc. The Eagles, 4.5-point favorites in this one.
All right. Yeah, if Boop is accurate, all the home teams except those two. Yes, I am taking also the Eagles. I think they're going to cover the 4.5, believe it or not, because, I mean, San Francisco's really banged up. I think the rest will have helped the Eagles players. We're still not positive Lane Johnson is going to play, but he was out there on the practice field today, so you got to think he's going to give it a go. I'm taking the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles too. I think, it's going to be really important for the Eagles defense to play well and rush the quarterback. Brock Purdy is really good if you give him time to stand back there and throw it around. But I expect the Eagles will get after him. And as Bob Angelo went through a lot of stuff about the 49ers defense, I think the Eagles will be able to exploit them and win this game pretty well.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
So,
Bill, let me get your pick on this because you're the college football guy. After the upsets last week, how's this going to play out?
Indiana's going to win that game. Indiana's going to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to go with Miami. I don't really want to. The Ole Miss quarterback last week against Georgia was just absolutely phenomenal. I don't know that he can be that good again. And for that reason, I'm going to take Miami, although I wouldn't have any problem with Ole Miss winning that game.
Yeah.
But I still think Indiana is the cream of the crop. I think they're going to win the whole thing.
Our buddy Kid Camden wanted to make sure we got those college picks in. I'm not picking the games, but you just did, and I think you're probably right.
All right. Hey, one thing I wanted to say about the NFL playoffs, Chet, as you look at these games, I think you have, the blue bloods and then the new guys.
Yep.
And I think, you see the Panthers in there, you see the Jags in there, you see the Texans in there, kind of the new kids on the block. Those are good football teams.
Oh, yeah.
And, and I think somebody just picking games for fun, glad I'm not doing it for money. It's easy to pick the old school guys, the blue bloods, the Steelers over the Texans. Well, the Texans are probably better than the Steelers.
Yeah, they are. Great defense.
And I think as you go down the schedule and you see them matchups, you think, well, it's easy to say that Jacksonville's going to lose to the Bills. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think so now.
Yeah.
And this is just, as we discussed with Bob, this is like the widest open, not in just the NFC, but the AFC as well, that we've seen in years. So it's going to make for, I think, a fun month of January and into February.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Chet, we about ran out of time, and we got a little bit away from ourselves. So we're going to skip over to Sixers. They're playing 500 ball anyway.
Kelly Oubre back tonight. Kelly Oubre finally back.
That'll make everybody sleep better right there.
There you go.
Hey, couple great guests tonight, Bob Angelo and Mike Shute. Who's going to be coming to visit us next week?
We didn't talk about that, did we?
No.
Well, golly. Let's see. I forgot who's coming next week, but I do have that right here. So next week, Bill, as I check my notes, we do have a couple of great guests. Once again, we will talk birds, hopefully about a second-round playoff game with the editor of Bleeding Green Nation, Brandon Lee Gouton, back on the show with us. And we will have also a conversation with the guy that was mentioned in my interview with Mike Shute. It is the founding vice president of the Flyers hockey franchise and the first president of the Spectrum, Lou Scheinfeld. 90 years young, Bill. Still going strong. He's a great dude. Ahead of Lou being honored a week later at that PSWA banquet. So Brandon Lee Gouton and Lou Scheinfeld on our show next Wednesday at 7.
That'll be awesome. Hey, one final Phillies note. Don Mattingly is the bench coach to babysit the guy that's winning the Nice Guy Award, Rob Thompson. Maybe we can actually win something with him. No news on the Realmuto Suarez. Suarez name's not even mentioned anywhere. Looks like the Realmuto thing is not really going anywhere. At least that's what we're hearing. Spring training's coming. It's time for something to happen here.
Yeah, we're just over a month out till pitchers and catchers report down in Clearwater. So something's got to happen soon, Bill. I think it will within the next week or so.
It's going to have to go one way or the other, because if it goes one way, you're good. If it goes the other way, then you better have a replacement. So
yeah,
something's got to happen.
And there's still that talk of Bichette maybe becoming a Philly. The Phillies making a move for him. We'll see. I don't know how accurate that is, but
he's not a catcher.
Not a catcher. Definitely not.
Not a catcher. We've got to figure that out. All right. Anything else before we wrap it up, since we've run out of time?
Not a thing. We're out of time. Wrap it up. I haven't eaten dinner. I'm hungry. Let's go.
There you go. Let's thank tonight's special guest, Bob Angelo, Mike Shute, our sponsors, the Irish Rover Station House, Cavs Philly Tailgates, and PPCC 118 Raz Room. For Jim Chet Chesko, this is Bill Furman. We hope you enjoyed the show. We'll join Philly Pressbox Radio next Wednesday, January the 14th at 7 p.m. You can see us live on Facebook, on our Philly Pressbox Radio YouTube channel, and on the STT Sports Network YouTube channel. Listen on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and all the others. High hopes, Philadelphia sports fans. Go Birds. Let's go Flyers, and let's go Sixers.
Let's do the song. Come on.